And now recording the audio. It's the Mike Tech Show, show number 845. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Mike Smith. Thank you very much for downloading the show. Please visit the main website at miketechshow.com. You can email me questions and suggestions for show topics at miketechshow@gmail.com. You can view all the videos for the past year of recording the shows, and that's on YouTube, and it's youtube.com/Michael Smith MTS. When you go there, please click subscribe. I really appreciate it. This show is brought to you by Instant House Call. Robust remote support if you are an IT pro or an MSP. This is what you need for your remote access solution. Instant House Call provides unattended and on-demand remote access, and you can try it free by clicking on the link on my website at miketechshow.com. And don't forget to use the promo code MikeTechShow to get your free 15-day trial. You can also just go directly to instanthousecall.com. This show's also brought to you by MagnusBox. This is your one-stop shop for all online backup needs for your clients. They support every operating system: Windows, Mac, Linux, the Synology device. You can back up Office 365. You can get a free trial and experience the same features as paying partners. Just go to magnusbox.com, sign up for the demo, and when you do, make sure you mention that you heard it on the Mike Tech Show, because when you become a partner, which is very easy, you will get free white labeling for your company, and you'll get the first 3 months, you'll get 50% off the platform fee. This is an incredible solution for all of your online backup needs. A great product that you can resell and make money by offering not only reliable and great backup solution and peace of mind for all your clients and yourself. All right. Tonight's show got a lot to cover. Going to cover a time slips license fix, a Microsoft email tip, the iPad floating keyboard. Something was driving me crazy, and I have a link for that. A quick Windows shortcut, finding drivers. We're going to talk about something I read from Maximum PC called DAC board. It's very interesting, and I have the link for that. I have one email where I have a listener that's asking for some help, and I think that's about it. Oh, we also have a link on Microsoft 365 for Business, a crash course, and I'll explain why I have that. So the first up, I want to just bring everybody up to date on a couple things. So the Phillies, you watch the show. Clearly, I'm dressed in my Phillies jersey tonight. Yeah, you look around the room and it's Phillies everywhere. I'm a huge Phillies fan, and I'm a snowbird, so that's why I'm in Florida right now. But I born and raised and followed the Phillies since I could talk. So the Phillies are doing great in the postseason. They clobbered the St. Louis. They took care of the Braves, and now they're tied in the starting game 3. They're one apiece with San Diego. So this weekend, big weekend in Philadelphia, and 2 of my sons are going to the game. I got a hold of tickets for them for tomorrow night, so looking forward to that. Boy, by the hair of my chinny chin, working with my CPA and my bookkeeper, I finally got my extended taxes were due the 15th, but when the 15th of October falls on a weekend, which it did, was available Monday. And I mean, literally Monday, I'm doing the electronic signature. And I am so happy that the estimated payments I made were fine, because, if they're not, you get hit with penalties and fees. And it's very ugly if you estimate incorrectly. So we did a good job of estimating. I have a great CPA, and that is just one thing lifted that I don't have to worry about. So I spent the weekend just crunching numbers and working with things. So I had to fix a licensing issue with time slips for a client that uses time slips 2006. They have no intention of upgrading. So calling tech support on a 16-year-old product, not an option really. And I'm not a time slips user. So I had to do a lot of Googling. And the first link I have, it's actually somebody selling consulting services, TSR consulting services. Well, here was the error for the new user. There are not enough licenses to allow use of the program at this time. And when you get that error message, I was like, what do you do? And I came across these short, sweet steps on how to do this. You have to close time slips on all the computers. That was the most difficult thing. I had to work with someone to go around, and this is last week where they are crunching, their CPAs, and they're working on taxes and doing things, and they're in time slips. I said, I need them to get out. And so I figured, let's do this in the evening, make sure everybody's out. And you have to run a program called Time Slips Station Administrator. Then you go into the options and you look at licenses in use. And at the bottom of the display, you click Clear All. Then you click Yes. Then click Yes again to close Station Administrator, and then open time slips. What I did was removed licenses from known systems and people that they're not using it. They have 16 licenses. They don't even have 16 people anymore. So I got rid of enough licenses. The new user I was able to log on to her system and get right in. So in case you run into that, I wanted to put that link in the show notes for tonight. A quick fix that helping a client with workflow. And this client sells insurance, and he's a listener of the show. And I told him, I said, when you're listening to this podcast, you're going to hear this story. So his inbox was getting incredibly cluttered with notifications and alerts for different things that he's doing and working on. So as they come in, he needed another method, something that, not just a rule to move it. Well, he has a ticketing systems with Freshdesk. So I said, let's create an email account called Service. Excuse me. So we created an email account called Service and an email account called Alerts. And he's got to change where these things go. But what we do is I created them on Microsoft 365, but only picking the license that's just for email. Doesn't need Office for this. He doesn't need anything else. It's just the bare Microsoft account. We take that, created it, and I forwarded both of those accounts to the Freshdesk, where his associate goes in there and manages and takes care of that. And then she'll only email him if she needs him to work on something. So this is great in minimizing his inbox and helping with the workflow and getting more productive. So it's a simple thing, and you're like, oh, Mike, that's pretty simple. Just create an account and then have a forward, but it's where it's forwarding to. And now they can manage all these notifications a lot better. So I just want to share these things to get you thinking on things like that for certain clients. Now, this one was a personal issue. My iPad, and I don't know when I do this, but the floating keyboard on my iPad Pro, it gets real small. And that was driving me crazy. Just real annoying. And I just said, that's it. I got to find out, why is it doing this? And it's so simple. When the keyboard's like in the corner or it's real small, and when it does that, it gets rid of a lot of the keys. I want the full keyboard going across the whole, half the screen. And all you have to do is place 2 fingers on the floating keyboard and spread the 2 fingers, and it enlarges it and it goes back to full size. Then you let go. That was just too easy. And I didn't think of that. And I was looking for options and I was trying everything. And I said, you know what? We're going to search. And we found the support article from Apple. If your iPad keyboard is small or split in half, how to get your floating iPad keyboard back to normal. So that link will also be in the show notes. So kind of cool. All right. Referrals. Have quotes that I've been working on where I have a new opportunity with 10 network drops. So I had to get information from our cabler that does the installs that we work with, and 5 new laptops, and crossing our fingers. This is for a physical therapy office that's going to be the first of 5 offices. And what a tremendous referral for my company. And it'll be great starting, from scratch, putting in the firewall, putting in all the Wi-Fi, just doing everything from scratch. So crossing my fingers, I put numbers in front of them, the owner, and we're hope to hear back from that. That'll be a lot of work and a lot of stories, I'm sure, that I will be talking about. Have another referral from a listener, and he's a longtime regular listener, and reached out to me for help with a project. And it's replacing new workstations for one of his clients. And they have custom software that they use for the business. They also have QuickBooks. And we're just going to be transferring everything to the new systems. And he needed some assistance. And the first thing we've done with our first 2 conference calls is I've put him in a position to give me all of the information that I need to do a proper assessment of what they need. So this is what I've sent him, my technician's license of SIW. And as a matter of fact, today showed him how to use it. I want an SIW report on every computer. And that he'll generate an HTML file for each of those systems, and he'll send them back to me. I'm then going to analyze that, look at the software that's installed, then have another conference call and say, okay, this is what we need to buy. Get the right systems recommended. Also, remember, if you're working with anything with QuickBooks, you have your client log in and hit the F2 key, and that will generate a summary page of everything you need. The database that they're in, the exact path. It will also give you the license and product key that you need, the version, the exact version that you're using. So I want a copy of that. I then want all internet and phone bills because they're unhappy with the phone. And we can easily get a small VoIP solution in there. So I want a PDF of those bills. Also asked for pictures. I want a picture of every network copier, printer, switch, and a picture of the network closet. This is a small office, so it's going to be easy to do. So now When I get all of that, I can make the proper recommendations for everything we need, and this project will be very successful. I'll make sure Instant House Call gets on every system so we can remote in and do the work. And they're going to have an external drive because we're going to use Fab's Auto Backup 7 Pro. I love that. We're going to use that to transfer all of the information and settings from the one system to an external hard drive, then power up the new system, transfer it back. So now the discussion I haven't had was, does this person that I'm partnered with, does he want to take out the hard drive, put it in a docking station, and we just do one transfer? So that's also an option that could save a little time, but that could also be a lot of work getting the drive out and then, doing that transfer and then putting that drive back. So we'll cross that bridge when we get closer. So I just wanted to go over my process with doing something like this, working remotely. And feel free to reach out to me if you have projects, and I'll tell you whether I have the time or can help you or not. But don't lose an opportunity because you can't do something, where I might be able to add value and help you and actually help you make more money. So I have a consultant to consultant rate, and I will help you out. So remember, just email me. You can email me at my miketechshow@gmail.com, and then we'll connect with either a Zoom call or a conference call and be able to flush out the details, and I'll let you know if we can be of assistance. So the next is going to be a link to a PDF, a crash course in Microsoft 365 for business. Now, this is very high level, and it's how to get things done, working together, safeguard your data, building your business. It's not so much for you as it is your client. And it's a free PDF. So I'm linking it directly. And when I seen this, I was looking at it, I was like, boy, this is really basic, but it's very organized that can help you help your clients to get better organized, work collaborating with teams, making sure they're fully utilizing Office 365, making sure they're using, SharePoint, OneDrive, all of the opportunities that they have, and how they can, you can keep your customers close by managing customer data in a spreadsheet, and helping you nurture relationships with Microsoft bookings, and to help simplify scheduling and appointments. So this, I think, is for your client, and this could give you ideas on how to upsell Office 365 and bring in some of your smaller clients, showing them, hey, this is how you could take advantage of this, and I'll help you get there by implementing this with you. So I'm going to put that out there as another tool to help you be able to add more value to your clients. So I think that's important. Or maybe you're listening and you're like, hey, our office can take advantage of this. So but yes, it's straightforward and simple, and anybody can take advantage of this. It's not too technical. It's not going to be over anybody's head here. So let's get back to the list here. We did the ebook. Did you ever have something on your screen, and maybe you're a gamer, and this is what's really going to help you. If you're a gamer and you got to get to the settings, it's always nice, and I got to make a little cheat sheet card and hang it up maybe under a monitor or something, where you hit the Windows key. Like, I always know when I'm on a server and I hit Windows R, I get the run box, because that's always hard to get to, and I know what to type. Well, this one is Windows I. everybody click the Windows key and the I key, and the settings is going to come up for your Windows 10 or your Windows 11. So it's the Windows key I. And I wanted to share that because there was a scenario that I needed to do that with a client. And it just popped into my head, and I was like, go hit Windows I. And that took care of bringing up settings. Or maybe things aren't working well with the mouse or something. It's always good to know those keys. So 2 things I got out of Maximum PC, the November issue. And one of the links is Snappy Driver. If you have problematic hardware, you really want to make sure you're updating the drivers. So locating and finding hard to get drivers where you can't get them updated through Windows. And it's very interesting because the email I have that I'm going to read at the end of the show is about getting a driver. So if you can't, but I don't know if this is going to work with printer drivers so much as it's going to work with, video driver or Intel, the network driver or a sound driver. Anyway, the link for Snappy Driver is what you want to take a look at. And when you run it, you allow access from Windows Defender Firewall if you're prompted. And then you can access expert mode. If no drivers are found, tick the expert mode on the box on the left. A host of new options will appear under Found in Driver Packs. Check both newer and worse match to see a list of drivers appear that closely matches your hardware, but aren't considered a better match than the one you have installed. The reason will be listed to the right of the driver, but for more details, roll your mouse over the driver and let it hover for a few seconds. A pop-up window will appear providing you more detailed information. Compare the information in the installed driver and available driver. Check this out. Make sure you can explore Make sure you explore the advanced options. Now, something I don't agree with on Maximum PC. They list the IO-Bit driver booster free, but it is just crazy filled with ads. As a matter of fact, your antivirus software is probably going to freak out because I know it did anytime I used to use this a while ago, and I've abandoned it, the IO-Bit driver booster. I don't recommend that because you're going to get you are going to get killed with ads, and you don't want that. So, and I'm sure that you're also going to get killed with if you give them an email, please don't give them a real email, or at least an email you can look up but not be crushed with, because they'll sell it and I'm sure you'll just get crushed with spam. So you want to listen to a couple shows back where DuckDuckGo has some fake email accounts that you can use for spam, and you might want to check that out and use those to sign up for things like this in case you want to go down that road. So anyway, a way to identify and get drivers that might be very hard to find. The one big topic here, DAC board. DAC board is a screen of convenience during your workday. And instead of having to pull up separate apps to check the weather, view your calendar, read the news, you can have everything in one place. This gets very interesting, and I'm going to have multiple links. There's a free DAC board, and the free DAC board is kind of limited. If you want to do something advanced, have multiple devices or work with different things, you got to pay $5 a month or for, let's look at the pricing. You have the free where you can do a predefined screen layout, but no custom. You got calendars, photos, weather, some RSS feeds, and you get all DACboard branding. Now, this would be like using a monitor. I have a monitor that's free that I don't use during the day, and it's behind me. And you see the Mike Tech Show graphic that Photo Ray kindly designed, and that's, above my head on the wall. That would be a great place for this. But I haven't decided what I want on it. I mean, do I just want the weather? I get that on my Echo Show that's right in front of me. It's funny. It's something I want, but I don't quite know everything that I would want to put on it. And if I have to keep turning around, well, that's not good. I have my iPad in front of me, and it does support the iPad. Now, something I looked at, it supports lots of different devices. You can even build your own Raspberry Pi and have it work with a screen, with a monitor. If you have an extra monitor laying around, this might be something you want. And if you have the funds, they even sell pre-designed monitors that have Wi-Fi built in that you can hang on the wall. So it's very cool. It also supports a Fire Stick as a possible option, and it supports Chromecast. So I'm thinking I can Chromecast back to my TV, or I can do the Fire Stick because there's a Fire Stick in that. So I'm not sure what I want to do. I used to use NetX 360. There was a for different news feeds that hasn't been working on my iPad. I don't know if they went out of business or not. Anyway, give this some thought. Maybe you have a client that might want this. So if it's one screen, it's free. Now, the $5 is the essential package per month. Here you can do custom screen layouts, all integrations. You get the use of their templates, custom CSS styling, link with a device or TV, and there's no branding. Then it just keeps going up from there. The Plus is 3 screens, and that's $10 a month. The Pro is $30 a month. And there, how many screens? That's 5 screens. And you can have staff accounts, white labeling, bulk screen management. There's lots of really cool options. This is I think a very cool product, but I'm not quite sure how I want to implement it yet. It looks interesting. And I'm thinking, well, what things do I want? Now, if I had multiple techs, then I would want a big screen with maybe my Synchro on it with open tickets. Who's working on what? How old is the ticket? And, that would be kind of cool with other things, Weather is not so much important to me to have that, but news feeds are. Now, I will say this, without getting political and I need a dose of news in the morning. So I click and I will open up a new browser right now and just a new instance of Firefox. And I have a one click that gets me all of my newspapers online. And remember, I use the option that gets rid of the paywalls. That was a past show. So I have my New York Times, my Washington Post, my Wall Street Journal tab, and my Inquirer because of Philadelphia. So I have 4 tabs. There's actually a 5th tab that I'll discuss at another time that integrates balanced news. Get it from the right, get it from the left, get it from, it's a balanced news source. So what I would, that almost needs a separate show. So this is where I get now, how can I trim that and get that posted on DAC board? I don't know. And I'm going to look into that. Is there a way? Because to me, I want to have a summary of everything and just kind of quickly spend a few minutes in the morning and I get my fill of what's going on in the world, and then I move on with my day. So everybody works differently, and this just was an interesting article on this product that really sparked my curiosity, and I thought, let me share this. This is kind of cool, and it's called DAC Board, and it's literally DAC Board, DAK board.com, and check it out. And let me know if you start implementing this. I want to hear about it. So now to this email from Dexter. Ran into an issue this week that maybe you or your listening audience can help with. On a new or existing PC, if I add a printer and choose Windows Update to get the printer driver, I get Windows was unable to get a list of devices from Windows Update. Please try again later. And this is an Okie page 24. Okie says driver is in Windows Update, but that's like the old school Windows 7. I got a question. Dexter, did you go to Windows 10 and go in, or Windows 11, wherever it is, and go into the printers of settings and see if it'll just find it and automatically load? I'm sure that's what you're trying to do, and it's not finding the driver. Start Googling Okie 24 substitute driver. I found, and this was more when we went from Windows XP to Windows 7, and then right from Windows 7 to Windows 10, and manufacturers weren't doing the drivers, I would find that someone found a similar driver. Just like this is in the old days, if you had an HP and couldn't find the driver, well, the LaserJet 4 driver, which was included with everything, would fundamentally work with the HP printer. You may not get every single feature, but it's going to work and you're going to be able to print. So I guess I'm giving you things to think outside the box. Maybe don't think Okie. Think of another brand that someone might have used to be able to get that. I got to believe that there's a driver out there that somebody has worked with or found. That, especially if they say it's included, do they have any kind of community support board? Or, because it sounds like it's Okie Data, and do they have something where you can post up something and ask, hey, I'm doing Windows Update, it's not there. Did you accidentally, or maybe did this in the past and forgot, to stop downloading drivers? Now, I've done that with registry fixes and with a local group policy where drivers being pushed by Microsoft messed things up for a user, and I permanently stopped it. So double check that your system can download drivers, because maybe it is there, but you're blocking it and you're not sure. So I would check for that group policy, check the registry entries that will stop a driver from downloading. So I think I've armed you with enough things to try. And if anybody else can think of something, let me know. Email me, MikeTechShow@gmail.com. That is it for tonight's show. I want to thank everybody for downloading and staying subscribed. Hope you got something out of it. Please send me emails, ask your questions, your comments, just anything. Just reach out to me. I really appreciate it, and I turn that into content. And if you have a problem, I will share it. I'm a conduit for everybody. If I don't know the answer or don't have any ideas, I'll put it out there, and we are going to get feedback. Somebody's going to have something to be able to share, and I love it. Don't forget, please Visit the sponsors. Check out Magnus Box, Instant House Call, Fabs Auto Backup Pro. All these links are in the show notes. You will love it. And that's it. Go Phillies this weekend. Hoping that they will sweep this weekend and close it out and head to the World Series. That is my dream, and really hoping that that's going to happen. And I will see you back here next week. My sister arrives tomorrow, and next Tuesday we're going to the Stevie Nicks concert in Tampa, and looking forward to that. And I will see you back here next Thursday. Bye-bye, everybody.